Aging has become such a big deal that unfortunately in the anti-aging movement, which has just blossomed, you have people falling all over themselves to actually peddle, I think, sometimes snake oil, and then people get confused as to what's worth dumping their money into. So in the wings, in our virtual green room, we spared no expense. Judy Gaman is with us. She's with the Executive Medicine of Texas. And Judy, one of the things that you and your husband is involved in, and a couple of other doctors, you're the business manager for the group, is you've got a business that you're seeing that's really thriving on sincerely getting to the heart of staying young and really working with people and trying to, I think, stamp out some of the quackery. Is that right?
Well, that's exactly right, Kate. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. Glad to be here. You have a fantastic show and always happy to be a part of it. And I want to tell you, that's exactly the problem. What we're seeing with the anti-aging, so to speak, movement is we have, unfortunately, some snake oil and quackery going on. One of the things that we do at Executive Medicine of Texas is we get to the root of all of the problems. We put you through a half-day physical exam because you can't fix and correct things that you don't know about. So before you start going to a physician that's going to pump you full of this and that, and I know a lot of these guys have IVs of high B vitamins and all kinds of things going on, but they're never really checking, hey, what's the status? Are you diabetic, pre-diabetic? How's your thyroid? Is your heart good? You have to look at the big picture. And, get that big physical exam and then, hey, okay, what needs fine-tuning? Because if we want to live a long time, we have to be sure that we're not involved with the top 5 things that are heart disease, diabetes, even depression and inflammation, all the things that happen to us that cause us to die early. Our bodies are made to thrive as long as we're getting good nutrition and as long as we're taking good care of ourselves, exercising things. But once you stop doing those things, and even sometimes when you are doing, quote, all the right things, you can have some minor things that could turn into major things if they're not taken care of early.
Yeah, so that's the idea. Somebody says, okay, how do I stop myself from really aging poorly? It's your health. A lot of it is what you just said. It's nutrition. And for some reason, a lot of people don't make that connection. They
don't. And a lot of that kind of goes back to when we were so far apart. We had things like Chinese medicine and all the herbal and holistic things on one side, and then we had Western medicine on the other side, and nobody was taking into account the other one's thoughts, whereas the doctors on the Western side, they were just prescribing prescriptions left, right, and center, but not saying, hey, how can we correct this maybe without filling you full of a bunch of drugs and then giving you more drugs because you have side effects from the first one. And then on the other side, they're going, oh, all you need to do is take this herb. Well, maybe not, because maybe we need to get to the root of what's causing the problem. And we have to remember that just because something is natural or something is herbal doesn't necessarily, one, mean it's good for us, and two, doesn't mean that it wouldn't interact with something maybe we're taking for something else, even if it's something as simple as birth control pills or hormone replacement. And we have to remember, too, pot and opium are plants, too. So not everything that is a plant or herbal is necessarily good for you.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that thing about what you might be taking doesn't mix with something that's natural, because for some reason, I just talked to a pharmacist about this, that you don't really get that information. So somebody is pretty healthy, but they had something wrong with their cholesterol, so they were taking something, and then it didn't mesh with other things that were natural because they just assumed, oh, it's natural, so that can't affect the pills, can't affect what I'm taking, but sometimes it's disastrous, isn't it?
Well, definitely. We see people that maybe have had issues in the past where they have to be on a blood thinner, but then they go see Joe Bob down at the bingo hall who says, hey, my herbalist said I need to be on this, that, and the other. Well, those things may also be blood thinners. So herbs very often have other properties, like maybe blood thinning. or thickening, or there's just a whole myriad of things they can do to us. So we need to make sure that we're not taking them and taking them in conjunction with something that wouldn't be good. And number one thing I would tell your listeners, when you go see your doctor and your physician or caregiver, whether it's nurse practitioner or PA, if they say, what are you taking? List everything. That means anything you're taking over the counter, anything you're taking that's a supplement, anything you're taking that's a prescription, because just as we're talking about herbs and things, same problem, like decongestants, people think, oh, they're safe because they're over the counter, but not necessarily. I mean, they can cause impotence, they can cause urethral stenosis. There's a lot of things that they can cause that maybe people don't think about. They go to the doctor, hey, I got this symptom, but they didn't tell the doctor, oh, yeah, I've been taking this cold medicine.
So something else that I wanted to dive into, or at least scratch the surface with, is some of the cool things that you're doing with stem cells. We hear so much about stem cells, and then people don't realize, well, hey, this is what you can do with stem cells. So tell us about what you're seeing and what you've been able to do with stem cells.
Well, one of the things that is a definite is that stem cells are going to change the future. They're going to change the future of medicine, how we treat things, how we heal ourselves. International Stem Cell Corporation is actually doing a lot of wonderful research in several areas, diabetes, Parkinson's, even blindness. And what they did in their research is they realized that the stem cell extracts were actually making their hands younger. So they were like, wow, that's amazing. They did their own little experiment, and then through more of their own research realized they could develop a product while they're doing this other research that could help us with our own use on our face, hands, neck. I use it. The physicians I work with use it. Almost all of our patients are on it because it's absolutely fantastic. And the one thing that I think is even better about it is International Stem Cell Corporation takes the proceeds from Lifeline stem cell serum, and it goes back into that deeper research for those bigger problems. And if your listeners are interested, you can go to stayyoungskin.com. We are just thrilled to have this product in our product line. We're very cautious. We get approached a lot of times, but this is a company we actually sought out and said, hey, we want to know more about this because this is a fantastic product.
Yeah. Do you find that people of all ages, I mean, I was joking around with our producer, Matt, who's a great guy and looks good, but do you find that a lot of people, there's no discrimination in man, woman, younger, older, that now more than ever people really want to look young, want to look healthy? Do you find that you're seeing that more?
Well, what we're seeing is a shift. This used to be more of a female issue, and men all loved the whole Clint Eastwood look. But they did, they thought it weathered was good. But we're seeing a big shift in that. Even our stem cell cream, we have 60% male purchasers. And so that's interesting to watch that change. And some of it may be that some of the guys that are now even 40, 50, 60, they're maybe still in the workforce and they're competing with these guys that are 20 and 30, and they want to look young. They want to look young. They want to look vibrant. And let's face it, young is cool. it really is. Right now, for whatever reason, young is cool. So it's no longer, you don't look so cool anymore with those lines.
It's funny you say that, but I think there is something to that. If you look back 25 years ago, people, even women, weren't so worried about their hair. There'd be more people that wouldn't dye their hair. There would be less of the things that we see now as far as the way people dress and stuff. So things definitely have changed.
Well, and the whole beauty industry. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars put into the beauty industry, and a lot of it's nonsense. I think that's what's so exciting about this. It's stem cells. It's proven. It's taking the nutrients your body needs and putting them on the skin and in a way that they can be absorbed through something that's new called nanotechnology. I mean, medicine is moving at a rate that even 10, 15 years ago, doctors wouldn't have believed where we are now. And it's fascinating to be a part of that.
Yeah. All right, Judy Gaman, thanks so much for coming on America Tonight. Continued success, and we'll talk to you again down the road.